Good morning and welcome back to Jenny RD's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you two of my favorite breakfast recipes that you can make ahead and enjoy for the week. This will be very helpful for those of you who struggle in the morning to find time for a balanced meal. First, we're going to make sweet potato crusted quiche. This recipe was actually given to me by Coach Kim, so thank you, Kim. It's one of my favorites. So we're going to start with the sweet potato crust. You're going to start by peeling a sweet potato and cutting it into really thin slices. So what we're going to do is, you can use a mandolin for this, but I just use a knife, and you cut it as thin as you would like. So you're going to take your thin sweet potato slices and put it into a pan and assemble them like a crust like I have here. This one's actually already baked. So once you have them all assembled, you're going to spray it with some cooking spray and pop it into the oven for about 20 minutes until it's golden brown. And then you have your crust. So now we're going to make the filling for the quiche. So I'm going to take some olive oil into a warm pan. Heat that up for a few seconds. And I decided that I'm going to do mushrooms, spinach, and I had some leftover cooked turkey bacon, so I'm going to use that as well. You can switch up whatever you want into this recipe. Any vegetables you want, any protein, anything that you like. Gonna let these soften up a little bit. While those are going, we are going to make the egg mixture. So I'm actually going to use a few real whole eggs and egg whites, but you can just use all egg whites if you would like. So you're going to take 3 large eggs, along with some egg whites. You need about a cup. You can always add more if you need to at the end. A little bit there. We'll whisk that together. Just like you're making scrambled eggs. You can add some salt and pepper, a little bit of sea salt. And cracked pepper. Alright, so that's it for the egg mixture. Really easy. Get back to the mushrooms. They're definitely getting a little bit softer, so now I'm just going to reheat my already cooked turkey bacon. That in there, along with some baby spinach. So I'm going to use about half a container of fresh baby spinach. It's already been washed. And we'll wait till that is all wilted. So the oven right now is at 375. It's preheating. So the filling is almost done. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper and salt to it, just to season it a little bit more. So a tip for this is just to make sure it's not very liquidy on the bottom of the pan, or it'll make your quiche very moist. So you can drain out the liquid if you need to, but this looks pretty good, so we're going to shut that off. And we're going to pour it onto our crust. Spread the filling onto the crust. And then we're going to put the egg mixture right on top. So you just pour this on. And you want the egg mixture just to come right above the filling. So I think I need a little bit more egg whites in here. So just pour them right on top. You can really use any cheese you want. I've tried goat cheese, which is really good on this recipe as well. So I just do a light layer on the top. You can add some herbs on top if you want. I'll add a little bit more pepper because I love pepper. And then I'm gonna pop it right into the preheated oven. And I'm gonna let that bake for about 40 minutes. Halfway through, I'm gonna turn it, and it should be done and getting all puffy. So we'll check on that later, and we'll make our next recipe. So next we're gonna make protein pancakes. You can make these pancakes so many different ways. I'll show you 2 different ones today. So what I'm gonna do is double the recipe. Typically you just need to start with a half a banana, but I'm gonna do a whole one. So I'm just gonna chop it up quickly, throw it into the bottom of a bowl, and I'm gonna mash it up. Typically you want a nice ripened banana, so they're nice and sweet. So as you can see, I'm mashing everything up in here. You don't really want it chunky or it's gonna make your pancake have a weird consistency. So next we need the protein powder. You can use any protein powder that you want. I have a whey protein right here. I've tried this recipe with plant-based and they both taste great. So typically you need 1 scoop, but since I'm doubling this recipe, I'm gonna use 2. Pop that in. And that takes the place of the flour. And then you need 1/4 cup of egg whites, so I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup. You wanna make sure you don't get egg beaters, but you just want the egg whites. You're gonna pour that in. I'm gonna add a little cinnamon to this, and I'm gonna whisk it up. Depending on the protein powder and how thick you want your batter, you might need to add a little bit of almond milk to thin it out. Mine is looking pretty thin right now, so I'm going to add in just a tad bit more protein powder. So this is how the batter should look. This is a little bit thinner than I would typically like, but it'll definitely work. We're going to heat up a pan, spray it with some nonstick spray lightly. Wait till that heats up. So this is just like making regular old pancakes. So you're gonna pour the batter. I'm gonna pour half the batter into the pan. So once you have half in the pan, you're gonna wait, just like making a regular pancake, you want it to bubble on top. Then you know it's ready to flip. So this one looks about ready. I'm gonna flip it. And as you can see, it's nice and golden. We're gonna wait for that side to cook. It doesn't take as long. So since I doubled the mixture, I did make another pancake. It came out to be very large because I did add a little bit more protein powder in the beginning. So maybe cutting it down into 2 separate pancakes would be a good idea. So now for the toppings. Like I said, you can do a lot of different things with these pancakes. I'm gonna do a fruit topping first. So instead of adding maple syrup and butter, I actually thawed out some frozen berries, put them in the refrigerator overnight, so you get a nice syrupy texture. And I'm just gonna top it right on top. So the good thing about this topping is that there's actually no sugar added. This is just frozen fruit, and it's gonna be nice and sweet with the syrup. And then the next one, I'm actually gonna do peanut butter and banana because it's the best combination. So I have some all natural peanut butter here, and I'm going to spread it over the top of my very large pancake. Just do a thin layer, you don't want too much. Right, that should be good. And then I'm going to slice up some banana. I'm just going to use half. So we can assemble that right on top. You could add some other fruit, maybe sliced strawberries. If it's for your kids, maybe some dark chocolate chips. for some sweetness. And that's it there. So this is the finished product. Depending on what you put into the pancakes and on top, these ones average out to be about 220 calories, but almost 30 grams of protein. So they're going to be very filling and very satisfying. So I think the sweet potato quiche is ready to come out of the oven, so I'm going to go grab that. It's all puffed up and golden brown. I'm going to put that right on top of the stove here. Let that cool for a second. And I'm going to slice it into 5 servings. So this recipe, depending on what you put into it, again, is about 250 calories and 20 grams of protein. So again, it's very filling and it'll keep you satisfied for a long time. So I'm going to slice it into 5 servings. I make this recipe almost every Sunday because I like a quick and easy breakfast in the morning, and I just grab it, reheat it at work, and it tastes just as good. So as you can see, you have the sweet potato crust on the bottom, it got all crispy on the sides, and the cheese all melted and got golden, so enjoy. So planning ahead is key. If you're struggling in the morning to figure out what to eat for breakfast, plan ahead and get it prepped maybe on the weekend. Like I said, on a Sunday you could make the quiche. These pancakes are great make ahead. Just don't put the toppings on, wait till you reheat them. They actually taste great, just popped in the microwave. You could freeze them. So these are definitely some great ideas for you to use in the future. And that's Cooking in the Kitchen with Jenny RD.